What up, nerds? Bujo Head Jody here. I have been bullet journaling since 2017, and I would like to share with you my 2021 December weekly spreads. End of the year, final spreads. We have our weeklies here. Now, I do not have a Christmas present spread this year. One half of my family, we're doing a big trip, so there's not, we're not doing any presents. And then the other side of my family is very small, so I'm gonna remember to buy like 2 presents, and that'll be it. So for the weeklies, these are pretty simple as well. We're just doing, these black and white, very simple columns. The first section there with a little pencil is like one sort of like bigger note section. I like to use it as a brain dump, and then since we're starting the week on a Wednesday, we have one note section, and then it goes right into Wednesday. Since I'm not doing crazy headers for this month, everything is very simple. So I know generally I've been using the same types of spreads for several months now. The notes just had an N at the top there, and then each day gets the first letter of the day of the week, and then the actual date. And so pretty much nothing else. Each column, the very first part, I'll put my habits up there, and then the second half I will put any tasks I have to do for the day. I am also going to be including, so I have a whiskey advent calendar, so I will be including like which whiskey it was, and a couple very short notes about what I liked about it, tasting notes basically. But none of those sections, I'm not sectioning any of those things out. They're just going to come one right after the other, because the habits I'll set up either the day before or the week before, something like that. And the tasks I'll usually have, the morning of or the night before. And then I'll just throw the whiskey notes on at the end, because I'll generally have that as my nightcap. So none of those sections are being written out. So I basically just need these vertical lines to denote each day. And then the smallest little bit of information just to remember which day is which. And those are pretty much all of my spreads. I didn't even really draw out the spacing on any of this, because it was pretty much the same number of boxes across. And then to remember where the line started, I just look at the previous week. So I decided, I think on the very first week, where I wanted that line to start, and then I just referenced it for each subsequent week. So yeah, the first column is for notes. So that's usually like weekly tasks, and also a list of all of my habits, because I don't do all my habits every single day. So I have a single line across that, like, all that line will be for, reading. Like if I want to read that day, I'll just write in reading for that day. But I like to keep the full list because, like, I mean, some weeks I don't do laundry at all, or I'll do it, 2 days in a row. So I want to make sure I keep that in the list. And then for this last week, the year ends on a Friday, so I've got those 2 extra spaces for the days there, which I'm doing another big note section. And that's for like more of a brain dump. That'll be stuff also that I need to remember for January, because I have not set up my January or my next notebook for this. Cute little pencil. Little doodle. Very simple. I did just make it. You can see that flash there. That was my pen test page, the very last page of the Bujo. So I just barely made it. So the spreads themselves are very simple, and actually, as fancy as this little thing looks, the decorations for these spreads is pretty simple too. We're just doing a little string of lights. Everything here is in black and white, so I will actually be coloring everything in, so the final spreads will not just be in black and white. I will also be using red and green and blue and yellow to, one, color in these lights, but also as sort of an indicator of like the different lists that I was talking about. So I do have one habit of exercising, and so that will be in green. My other habits will all be in blue. My tasks are all going to be in red. And then the whiskey tasting notes are going to be in this yellow, which is actually more of an orange. So that way, even though I'm not separating them out with like a line, I can tell at a glance on the page what is what. And it'll look really cool. It'll be like a little coloring book. And I'll color in all these tiny little lights. I've done these borders before on an old Christmas present spread, and it looked really good. And it was nice that I was able to set this up, because setting it up and also coloring in is very tedious. You can actually go back and look at some of my Christmas spreads, and you can tell that one took a little bit more time than some of the other ones I've done over the years. So this is kind of nice, having this very elegant black and white spread that I know I'm going to fill in and fill with color. And these decorations are also simple in that you don't really have to space them out. You don't have to plan them out. You just draw a little squiggle of a line, and all the little bulbs are just circles. They look pretty good just as is. You don't need to do any sort of special shape. As long as it gives an impression of a tiny little light, it does pretty well. So highly recommend. They look very good. Simple spreads. And something to work on. And we're going to fill it with those colors. It'll be nice and festive and wonderful. And so those are my spreads. Thanks a lot. Bye.